I was driving home after a long shift, my mind on dinner with Anna and our son, Seth. The siren blared behind me, blue lights flashing in my rearview. I pulled over, thinking it was routine. 2 cops approached, badges gleaming under the streetlights. "Step out, Captain Cole," one said, his voice cold. I complied, showing my ID. But they ignored it, slamming me against the car. A quick search, and they found a bag of drugs under my seat. "This yours?" the other smirked. I protested, I'd never touched that stuff. They cuffed me tight, the metal biting my wrists. As they shoved me into the squad car, one leaned in close. "This is what happens when you dig too deep." My heart pounded. I'd been investigating corruption in the department, quiet leads on dirty cops. Now, humiliation burned through me. At the station, they stripped my badge, my gun, everything. Fingerprints, mugshot, the works. I sat in a holding cell, staring at the wall, wondering how far this went. The drive had been normal, no stops, no chances for planting. But they had me now, framed clean. My career, my life, crumbling in one night. Who was behind this? And why whisper that warning? I clenched my fists, anger rising. This wasn't over. If you're watching this, subscribe, like and let me know where you're watching from. Jail was a nightmare of echoes and stale air. Headlines screamed from the TV in the common area, "Corrupt captain busted for drugs." My face plastered everywhere, the department's hero turned villain. Reporters twisted my record into a joke. Anna didn't visit, her calls went unanswered. Seth, my 15-year-old, probably hid from the stares at school. In my cell, a grizzled inmate named Rico eyed me. "You the cop they nabbed?" he grunted. I nodded, explaining the frame-up. He chuckled darkly. "You're not the first. Dirty badges plant evidence to shut mouths. But you could be the last, if you're smart." His words hit like a punch. He'd seen it before, innocent folks railroaded to protect the real crooks. Released on bail after 2 days, I stepped into sunlight feeling like a ghost. Home was cold, Anna's eyes avoided mine. Outside, I spotted one of the arresting cops, Officer Hale, leaning against his car across the street. He waved at Anna through the window, a flirtatious grin. She waved back, laughing. My stomach twisted. Was this personal? Or deeper? I slipped inside, questions burning. The fall hurt, but Rico's warning echoed. Be smart. Dig smarter. This setup wasn't random. I needed proof to fight back. That night, Rico's words haunted me. In jail, he'd slipped a note into my hand during lights out. "It goes higher than you think. Watch your back." Crumpled paper, but heavy with promise. I tucked it away, mind racing. Released, I headed home, but paranoia crept in. Every car seemed to follow. At a stoplight, I glanced back, Hale's cruiser tailed me loosely. I pulled into my driveway, heart thumping. Anna was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables. "We need to talk," I said. She barely looked up. Outside the window, Hale parked nearby, stepping out to chat with a neighbor. Then he glanced our way, flashing a smile at Anna. She blushed, waving again. Jealousy mixed with suspicion. Was she involved? No, couldn't be. But the note burned in my pocket. It goes higher. Higher than dirty cops? The chief? I confronted her later. Why's Hale flirting with you? She snapped, he's just friendly. Unlike you, ruining our lives. Hurt stung, but I saw the crack. Alone, I unfolded the note again. A phone number scribbled below. Rico's? I dialed later, voice low. No answer. But something told me this was the key. The frame-up wasn't just about me. It was protecting a web. Home felt like a battlefield. Anna exploded that night. How could you, Albert? Drugs? Our family's destroyed. Her eyes blazed with betrayal. I swore it was a setup, but she shook her head. Save it for court. Seth hid in his room, door locked. When I knocked, he muttered, "Leave me alone, Dad." His voice cracked, shame from school taunts. On TV, the chief held a press conference. Captain Cole was a liability. We won't tolerate corruption. His smug face twisted the knife. My own boss, throwing me under the bus. I paced the living room, fists clenched. Years of service, medals for busting rings, gone. Friends called once, then stopped. Isolation hit hard. Anna packed a bag. I'm staying with my sister. Sort this out. The door slammed, echoing like my career's end. Alone, I stared at photos on the wall, family vacations, my promotion ceremony. All tainted now. Rico's note mocked me. It goes higher. The chief's words replayed, liability. For what? My corruption probe had uncovered missing funds, sketchy arrests. Was this retaliation? I grabbed my laptop, searching department leaks. Nothing solid. But doubt grew. My family broken, reputation shattered. I wouldn't go down quietly. Time to fight back, smart like Rico said. A knock startled me mid-search. Through the peephole, a woman with a notebook. Captain Cole? Tiffany Abrams, reporter. I believe you're innocent. Skeptical, I opened the door. She slipped in, eyes sharp. I've got proof, body cam glitches on your arrest. She showed a file, Hale and his partner turning off cams before the find. My pulse raced. Why help me? Because it's bigger. Cops framing folks for kickbacks. We talked, she had tips from insiders. As she left, a brick crashed through the window, glass shattering. A note tied, drop it. We ducked, hearts pounding. They're watching, she whispered. I grabbed my old service pistol, suspended, but habit. Outside, tires screeched away. Police arrived late, dismissive. Probably kids. But we knew better. Tiffany stayed, bandaging a cut on her arm. This proves we're onto something. Her determination matched mine. The note echoed Rico's warning. It goes higher. Hale? The chief? I nodded. Let's dig deeper. She smiled grimly. Together. That brick wasn't stopping us, it fueled the fire. My family's doubt hurt, but this was my path back. Proof would clear me, expose them. The game had changed. No more victim. Time to hunt. Tiffany and I planned carefully. Late at night, we snuck into the department's records room using my old access code, still active, a slip-up. Dim lights, rows of files. We hunted deleted body cam logs. Here, she whispered, pulling a drive. Footsteps echoed outside, someone approaching. We froze behind a cabinet, hearts slamming. The door creaked open, a guard scanned the room. His flashlight swept close. I held my breath, sweat dripping. He muttered, "Must be nothing," and left. We exhaled, grabbing the logs. On them, Hale and partner laughing before my stop, "This'll shut him up." Planting clear. But more, similar setups on others. We copied fast, slipping out through a side exit. In her car, we reviewed. This ties to cartel payoffs, Tiffany said. Cops protect dealers for cash. My probe had hit too close. Back at my place, we pored over files. Names of framed victims, including a city official's kid. We need more, I said. Tiffany nodded. But they're on to us. The brick proved it. Paranoia set in, every shadow a threat. But this evidence was gold. My fall wasn't random. It was to silence me. Now, I'd make them pay. The next day, tension high, I met Tiffany at a park. As we discussed the logs, a hooded man bumped me, slipping a USB into my pocket. "They're watching everyone." "Use it," he muttered, vanishing into the crowd. Blue lights flashed, cops nearby. "Run," Tiffany hissed. We bolted to her car, peeling out. Heart racing, I plugged in the USB at a safe spot. Videos, Hale planting drugs on civilians, laughing with partners. One clip showed the chief in a backroom deal, taking envelopes. "Holy!" Tiffany gasped. "It goes to the top." More files, emails linking cops to cartel protection rackets. The hooded man? Maybe Rico's contact. We hid the drive. "This could blow it open," I said. But danger loomed. That night, shadows outside my house. I called Anna, voicemail. Seth texted, "Dad, be careful." Worry nod. The USB was dynamite, but using it meant war. The chief's face on video twisted my gut. My boss, betraying the badge. Years of loyalty shattered. Tiffany paced. "We expose this, careers end." I nodded. "They framed me. Time for payback." Sirens wailed distant, a reminder. We were hunted now. But armed with truth, we'd strike back. We escaped the park, but paranoia followed. In a motel, we dove into the USB. Shocking, cops planting on innocents, including the mayor's nephew, framed to cover a botched raid. Payoffs listed, cartel names. "This is huge," Tiffany said. "The department's rotten." My probe had uncovered this, hence the frame-up. A black SUV appeared in the mirror as we drove. "Tail," I barked. We sped up, weaving streets. They rammed us once, metal screeching. I swerved into an alley, losing them barely. Breathless, we ditched the car, hiding in shadows. "They know we have something," Tiffany panted. Back safe, we planned. The nephew's file showed he was cleared quietly, mayor's pull. But others rotted in jail. Anger boiled. This wasn't just me, lives destroyed for dirty money. Phone buzzed, unknown. "Stop digging or your family pays." Chills ran down. Anna and Seth. I called her, she picked up angry. "What now?" I warned her. "Stay safe." She hung up. The chase proved desperation. They feared exposure. "We go public," Tiffany urged. "But carefully." The SUV's plate? Department issue. Confirmed the rot. My retaliation brewed. They'd regret framing me. Digging deeper, Tiffany revealed ties. The mayor laundered cartel cash through city projects. "Your frame-up? To stop you exposing it." It clicked. My investigation hit the mayor's nephew's case, linking to payoffs. Bigger than cops, political rot. Driving to a contact, the black SUV reappeared, tailing close. "Hold on," I yelled, flooring it. Twists through traffic, horns blaring. They clipped us, but I spun out, escaping via a side road. Hiding, we caught breath. "They're protecting the mayor," Tiffany said. Files showed bribes funneled to campaigns. The chief? Mayor's puppet. My world flipped. Years serving, blind to this. Family at risk now. I texted Seth, "Lock doors." No reply, worry spiked. This web ensnared everyone. "We need allies," I said. Tiffany nodded. The nephew, he might talk. But danger loomed. That night, shadows outside again. I gripped my pistol, ready. The tale proved they feared us. My retaliation? Unravel it all. From captain to hunted, but I'd destroy them. The mayor's involvement meant citywide scandal. Lives ruined for greed. Anger fueled me. We'd expose it, no matter the cost. At a remote gas station, refueling, the SUV screeched in. Get down. I shoved Tiffany behind pumps. They fired shots, glass shattered. I returned fire, hitting tires. They fled, but the SUV exploded in flames down the road. Smoke billowed. Cops arrived, we hid, watching. From the wreck, a burned phone rang. I sneaked close, chief's number on screen. Proof. We grabbed it before fleeing. He called them, Tiffany gasped. The phone's logs, texts ordering hits on us. My blood boiled. This was attempted murder. Back hidden, we cloned the data. Calls linked chief to cartel drops. The explosion? Their own trap backfired? Or cover? Danger escalated. I called Anna anonymously, get out of town. She hung up scared. No friends left, old partners ignored me. This web trapped all. The burned phone was gold, but using it meant war. My frame-up paled to this. They'd kill to silence us. Retaliation burned. I'd destroy careers, expose the chief. But family first. Seth's safety gnawed. The trap failed them, now we'd set ours. Isolation hit hard. I reached out to old colleagues, doors slammed. Can't help, Albert. Too risky. Fear in their eyes. Everyone terrified of the web. Driving home, an unmarked car snapped photos of my house. They're building a case against me, I told Tiffany. Paranoia peaked, every shadow a spy. We holed up in a cheap motel, reviewing evidence. The chief's phone tied him to hits, plants. No one's safe, Tiffany said. Texts showed orders to watch my family. I rushed home, empty. Anna's note, gone to sisters. Don't follow. Relief mixed with pain. The photos? Intimidation. My probe had scared them, now they isolated me. Alone, doubt crept. Was I in over my head? But anger won. They'd framed me, threatened my loved ones. No backing down. Tiffany found a lead, a bar photo of dirty cops with the chief. Proof of ties. Sent anonymously. My son texted it later, Dad, be careful. Saw this. Heart swelled, he believed. The unmarked car circled again. I snapped pics back. Game on. No friends, but evidence grew. Retaliation brewed. I'd make them pay a loan if needed. Anna confessed over a tense call, they offered hush money, Albert. To keep quiet. Betrayal stung. Did you take it? Silence, then, no. But I thought about it. My world cracked. Family torn by this mess. Seth sent a photo, dirty cops hail and partner with the chief at a bar, laughing over drinks. Found this online, Dad. Believe you now. His support fueled me. Anna hung up crying. The photo proved conspiracy, dated after my arrest. They celebrated framing me. Anger surged. My wife tempted by bribes? Unforgivable. But I focused. The web, cops, chief, mayor, cartel. Family betrayal cut deep, but pushed me forward. I warned Anna, stay hidden. She agreed, scared. Seth's photo was key, leaked it anonymously. Online buzz started. Corrupt cops partying. Comments exploded. The department scrambled, denying fakes. But doubt spread. Alone in the motel, I planned. No more defense. Attack. They'd destroyed my life, I'd dismantle theirs. Anna's admission hurt, but clarified. Trust no one fully. Evidence mounted. Retaliation time. We leaked the body cam footage online, anonymously, through secure channels. Framed by corrupt cops, titled. It went viral fast, millions of views overnight. Headlines shifted, police scandal exposed. The department panicked, issuing statements, doctored videos. But shares exploded. Protests brewed outside HQ, Tiffany grinned, this is it. But then, her phone rang. They have me. A distorted voice. We traced it, abandoned warehouse. They took her, I realized. Grabbed my gear, raced there. Dark, echoing space. Masked men held her, guns drawn. Drop it, Cole. I snuck in shadows, heart pounding. One turned, I tackled him, disarming. Gunfire erupted. I shot back, hitting legs. Tiffany broke free, grabbing a bat. We fought out, bruised but alive. In the car, she panted, thanks. The leak worked, but cost. Department in chaos, chief on TV denying. Viral storm raged. My retaliation hit home. They'd pay more. At a safe house, Tiffany recovered. During abduction, I overheard, they mentioned the chief with cartel leaders. Shocking. The department wasn't just dirty, it fronted cartel ops. Protection for dealers, framing threats. My probe had hit this nerve. We connected dots, payoffs to mayor, chief overseeing. We need proof, I said. Then a message, next time, it's your son. Terror gripped. I called Anna, hide Seth better. She agreed, voice trembling. This war endangered everyone. I hid Seth at a friend's cabin, armed. No more waiting. Tailed dirty cops that night. Saw Hale loading bags, cash, into a councilman's car. Snapped photos. Evidence piled. The web, cartel money through City Hall, cops as enforcers. My frame-up? To silence me before exposure. Anger boiled. They'd threatened my boy. Retaliation intensified. Tiffany hacked more, cartel meetings logged. Chiefs there. Proof mounted. But danger loomed, shadows everywhere. Family at risk pushed me harder. I'd dismantle this empire. The web unraveled, department as cartel front, framing threats, laundering through mayor. Proof solid, emails, videos. But the threat to Seth burned. We counterattack, I declared. Hit him deeper, then tailed more. Caught dirty cops at a drop, bags exchanged. Photos captured it. One bag split, cash spilled. Snuck close, recorded whispers, chief wants this clean. Gold. Tiffany traced ledgers online, cartel funds funneled. This ends them. But a death threat came, disguised as press release, stop or join the buried. Chills. We pushed on. Broke into councilman's office at night. Silent alarm. Heart raced. Found ledgers hidden in safe, names, amounts, cartel ties. Chief listed top. Photocopied fast. Alarm tripped, sirens wailed. Escaped through window, jumping fence. Cops swarmed, lights flashing. Ducked into alleys, lost them. Breathless, we reviewed. Ledgers confirmed all. My retaliation peaked. They'd hunted me, now I hunted back. Seth was safe, tucked away at a friend's remote cabin deep in the woods, with a rifle by his side and strict instructions to stay low and alert. I hugged him tight before leaving, his young face etched with fear but determination. "I'll come back for you soon, son," I promised, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. He nodded, clutching the phone I'd given him for emergencies. That night, under a moonless sky, I started my counterattack. I tailed the dirty cops, Hale and his partner, sticking to the shadows like a ghost. My car was parked far, and I moved on foot, breath shallow to avoid detection. At a dimly lit parking lot behind a rundown bar, I saw them loading heavy duffel bags from a van into the councilman's sleek black car. The bags looked bulky, probably stuffed with cash or worse. I snapped photos from behind a rusted dumpster, the camera's soft clicks sounding loud in my ears. They whispered harshly, glancing around nervously. "Make sure the chief's cut is in there," Hale muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. My heart raced. This was direct proof of the corruption chain, linking street-level dirty cops to City Hall. A twig snapped under my foot, they froze, hands on guns. I held my breath, pressing against the cold metal, praying the darkness hid me. Their flashlight beam swept close but missed. They shrugged it off and drove away. Back with Tiffany in our hidden motel room, we reviewed the shots on her laptop. "This ties the councilman straight to the cartel payoffs," she said, her eyes wide with excitement. The bags were likely bribes, funneled through the department to keep the operation running smooth. Anger surged through me like a wildfire. They'd threatened my boy to protect this filthy web. No more playing defense. I'd hit them where it hurt, dismantle their empire piece by piece. But every shadow outside the window felt like a watcher, every car horn a warning. The suspense kept me awake, mind racing with plans. They'd framed me to silence my probe, now, this evidence would be their undoing. I clenched my fists, ready for the next move. The game had flipped, I was the hunter now. Late that night, with the city lights twinkling like distant stars mocking my situation, I broke into the councilman's office. The building was quiet, security lax, arrogance of the powerful. I picked the lock with tools from my old police kit, the click echoing softly in the empty hall. Inside, the room smelled of leather and cigar smoke. Papers were stacked neatly on the desk, but I headed straight for the safe behind a painting of the city skyline. Cracked it after a few tense minutes, my fingers steady despite the adrenaline. Inside, the ledgers were gold, pages filled with cartel names, dates, transaction amounts. The chief was listed multiple times, big sums next to his name, and the mayor too. This was the heart of the laundering operation. I photocopied fast, the machine's hum sounding like a roar in the silence. Sweat dripped down my back, every second felt like an eternity. Then, a red light flashed on the wall, the silent alarm tripped. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. "Damn," I muttered, stuffing the copies into my bag. I slammed the safe shut and bolted for the back window. Climbed out, dropping to the alley below, landing hard on my knees. Pain shot up, but I ignored it. Cops swarmed the front, lights flashing blue and red, shouts filling the air. A bullet whizzed past, grazing the brick wall near my head. I sprinted down the alley, dodging trash cans, heart pounding like a drum. Turned corners sharply, lost them in a maze of backstreets and fences. Breathless, I collapsed in a dark doorway, checking for tails. None. In a safe spot later, I spread the ledgers under a dim lamp. They confirmed everything, cartel money flowing through fake city projects, chief at the top taking his cut. My frame-up was just one thread in this massive web. Tiffany met me, her face pale. "This is huge, Albert. We can end them." But the danger was closer now, cops and cartel would hunt harder. The siren still echoed in my ears, a reminder of how close I'd come to capture. Anger mixed with fear, they'd threatened Seth, killed the nephew. These papers were dynamite, but lighting the fuse meant explosion for all. I gripped the bag tighter, ready to burn it all down. Retaliation wasn't a choice anymore, it was survival. We escaped the office swarm, but the hunt was on, cops and cartel tracking us like hounds on a scent. We went underground, switching cheap motels every night, paying with cash, faces hidden under hats. Tiffany got a death threat slipped under our door, typed like an official press release: "Your investigation ends today, or you do." My blood ran cold, hands shaking as I read it. "We don't stop," I said, crumpling the paper. But paranoia choked me. Every creak in the floorboards felt like footsteps, every stranger's glance a spy. The ledgers kept me focused. We reviewed them under flashlight, matching names to the USB videos. The web was crystal clear: department as a cartel front, mayor laundering funds through phony contracts, chief pulling the strings like a puppet master. I tailed another drop that night, saw Hale pass bags to a shadowy figure in a park. Snapped photos, barely breathing as wind rustled leaves. A car slowed nearby, too close for comfort. Was it them? I ducked away, pulse racing. Back at the motel, Tiffany hacked into police dispatch logs on her laptop. "They're putting out alerts on us," she whispered, screen glowing in the dark. My phone buzzed, an unknown number. "Your son's next if you don't back off." Terror slammed me like a wave. I called Anna immediately, voice low and urgent. "Keep Seth hidden, no matter what." She sobbed on the line, agreeing, her fear mirroring mine. The hunt was relentless, but I was hunting too. This was for my family, for the lives they'd ruined. Each step felt like walking a tightrope over a pit of snakes. Evidence piled up, but so did the risks. Shadows lengthened, nights grew longer. Retaliation wasn't enough, I needed to end this before they ended us. The threat's words looped in my head, fueling the fire. We'd strike soon, or die trying. We met the mayor's nephew at a remote diner off the highway, the kind with flickering neon signs and greasy spoons. His face was pale, eyes darting like a trapped animal. "They framed me to cover a botched raid," he said, voice low. "Planted drugs, just like you. I'll testify, names, dates, all of it." We nodded, setting up a recorder on the table. He leaned in, ready to spill. Then, a sniper's bullet shattered the window with a deafening crack. Glass sprayed everywhere. He slumped forward, blood blooming on his shirt. I yanked Tiffany down behind the booth, heart hammering in my chest. "Shooter on the roof," I hissed, peeking over. Another shot pinged off the table. Diner patron screamed, diving for cover. Dishes crashed, chaos erupting. Outside, in the parking lot, tires screeched as the shooter fled in a dark sedan. Cops arrived minutes later, too late, calling it a random hit. But we knew, it was targeted silence. The nephew was dead because he knew too much about the web. My stomach twisted with guilt and rage, his blood stained the floor like an accusation. "They're one step ahead," Tiffany said, shaking as we slipped out the back door into the night. We checked for tails, every shadow a potential killer. The diner's broken glass mirrored my shattered trust in the system. This wasn't just corruption, it was murder to protect secrets. The nephew's death fueled my fire, I wouldn't let it be in vain. Suspense hung heavy as we drove away, every headlight behind us felt like pursuit. But his words lingered, pieces of the puzzle. I'd be their reckoning, turn their fear back on them. The nephew's blood on the floor haunted me, a red stain on my conscience. "I won't be a witness anymore," I vowed to Tiffany, voice hard as steel. "I'll be their nightmare." Rage took over, a burning force pushing me forward. I started hitting cartel stash houses, tipping the FBI with anonymous calls from payphones. Watched from afar as raids unfolded, doors kicked in, dealers cuffed, drugs seized in heaps. Then I burned a front business, an empty warehouse used for laundering, an accelerant and match did the trick, flames roaring into the night sky like a beacon of defiance. The chief went on TV the next day, face flushed with anger. "Albert Cole is armed and dangerous, a threat to our community," he declared, urging citizens to report me. Lies to paint me as the villain. But the public wasn't fully convinced. My leaks, videos and photos, had sown doubt. Whispers grew in forums, protests sparked outside the station. Tiffany grinned despite the danger. "You're shifting the tide, Albert." But each strike was a risk. A car followed us once, forcing a high-speed evasion through back roads. I moved at night, a ghost haunting their operations. Dealers arrested, money gone, their empire cracked. This was for Seth, for Anna, for the nephew's pointless death. Suspense never eased, every corner hit a trap, every phone ring a potential threat. But this war path felt right. I'd make them regret ever framing me. My war path intensified under the cover of darkness. I tipped off more stash house raids to the FBI, watching from rooftops as SWAT teams stormed in, lights flashing, shouts echoing. Drugs confiscated, low-level cartel members hauled away in cuffs. Then I targeted their businesses, burned another front, a fake auto shop used for money laundering. I doused it with gasoline, struck the match, and watched flames devour the building, smoke billowing like a dark cloud of justice. The chief appeared on every news channel, his voice cracking with desperation. "Albert Cole is a menace, armed and dangerous. Report any sightings," he urged, trying to rally the city against me. But his words rang hollow. My anonymous leaks had turned the tide. Videos of plants, photos of payoffs spread online, fueling outrage. Citizens protested, holding signs demanding investigations. Tiffany monitored from our hideout. "The public's turning, Albert. They see the corruption now." But danger lurked. A sniper's glint once forced us to dive for cover. I evaded tails, heart racing through rainy streets. Each hit weakened them, operations disrupted, fear spreading in their ranks. This was retaliation for my frame-up, for threatening Seth. Suspense built with every move, one wrong step, and it'd end. But I pressed on, a shadow dismantling their empire. Anonymous leaks flooded the internet, more footage, incriminating photos, turning citizens against the chief. Forums exploded with anger, protests swelled outside the station, chants demanding his resignation. The city buzzed with doubt, once loyal supporters turning away. Then a dirty cop, Jenkins, contacted me through a burner phone. "I want to flip," he said, voice trembling. We met in a rainy alley, hoods up, water dripping from eaves. He confessed everything. The chief orders the plants, takes cartel cuts weekly. It's all about money. My recorder captured his words, suspense thick as fog. He meets them tonight at the docks, big deal going down. Mid-sentence, a bullet tore through his chest from a rooftop sniper. He crumpled, blood soaking the pavement. I dove behind a car, gun out, scanning rooftops. The shooter vanished into the storm. Heart pounding, I grabbed the recorder and ran, Tiffany covering from a nearby doorway. "They're eliminating loose ends," she panted as we escaped. Jenkins' death was a blow, but his partial confession was gold. We leaked it online, viral firestorm. The public shifted harder, calls for arrests growing. Danger escalated, but so did our edge. The docks meeting was our chance to end it. Jenkins' dying words pointed to the docks, the chief meeting cartel bosses tonight at a stormy warehouse by the water. Thunder rumbled as I geared up, bulletproof vest, hidden recorder, pistol loaded. Rain lashed the windows of our hideout. Tiffany checked the battery. "Be careful," she said. I nodded, slipping out into the night. The warehouse loomed dark and foreboding, waves crashing against the pier. I crept close, hiding behind rusted containers slick with rain. Through a grimy window, I saw the chief, cartel bosses in sharp suits, and Hale, the last dirty cop standing. They exchanged heavy bags, cash for protection, drugs for silence. "The deal's stable," the chief said, counting stacks. "No more leaks." I started the recorder, capturing every word, every handshake. Lightning flashed, illuminating their guilty faces. This was the core of their operation, proof to topple the empire. My frame-up, the nephew's murder, all led here. Suspense gripped me, a wrong noise, and I'd be spotted. Shadows shifted outside, more guards. I stayed low, breath shallow. The recorder whirred softly. Hale glanced my way, I froze. He turned back. Evidence secured, but escape loomed. Thunder boomed, masking my heartbeat. I'd crash their party soon. The stormy warehouse pulsed with their illicit deal. My recorder caught it all, the chief's voice, cartel boss's accents, Hale's nervous laughs. Bags traded hands, sealing their crimes. Lightning cracked, rain hammered the roof. I checked the live stream app on my phone, set to go live. It's over. I shouted, bursting through a side door, gun raised. Bullets erupted immediately, whizzing past my head. I dove behind wooden crates, splintering under fire. Returned shots, hitting Hale in the leg, he screamed, collapsing. Cartel goons advanced, guns blazing. Tiffany fired from the shadows outside, her bullets covering me. Albert, she yelled. Crates exploded in shards, thunder drowning the chaos. The chief aimed straight at me. You should have stayed in that cell, Cole, he snarled. I rolled, dodging, and tackled him hard. His gun flew across the wet floor. We grappled, fists flying in the dim light. Punches landed wet and heavy, blood mixed with rain. I pinned him, knee on his chest. The live stream was broadcasting, millions watched the truth unfold. Cartel fled into the storm, one dropping from Tiffany's shot. Hale begged for mercy, cuffing his own hands in panic. Sirens wailed closer, real backup this time. The warehouse reeked of gunpowder and betrayal. My heart pounded, but victory was near. Cornered by the chief in the warehouse's dim corner, rain leaking through the roof, I flipped the fight. He lunged with a knife, I sidestepped, grabbing his arm and twisting. The blade clattered away. You're finished, I growled, slamming him against a crate. He gasped, wind knocked out. I disarmed him fully, cuffing him with his own restraints. You buried me alive with that frame-up, I said, staring into his defeated eyes. I built my resurrection from the dirt you threw. The live stream kept rolling, millions saw the chief's confession forced out, cartel bags exposed, Hale whimpering in the background. Views skyrocketed, comments flooded with shock. Sirens blared, cops, clean ones, stormed in, arresting everyone. The chief spat curses as they hauled him away. Cartel bosses were nabbed at checkpoints later, their empire crumbling. The live stream went mega-viral, forcing the mayor's resignation amid federal probes. My name was cleared, the frame-up dismantled in court. Anna returned home, tears streaming. I should have believed you, she whispered, hugging me tight. Seth beamed, you're my hero, Dad. Tiffany and I celebrated, her stories won awards, our friendship solid. The hooded man? He surfaced safe, Rico's ally thanking me. I retired from the force, speaking at events on fighting corruption, helping victims rebuild. Their careers destroyed, justice served. I walked into the sunrise that morning, rain clearing to blue sky. Free at last. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the playlist now.